This is a Bulldog Radio podcast.
0096 2251.
Now, what I'm going to read you next may upset some of you, but it's absolutely true.
There are loads of facts. The public hasn't been informed. The time to start is now.
0096.
They know this is real. I believe they know more than they're letting on. And I believe they have a good reason not to make it all public.
8105 0096.
Welcome back, listeners, to The Pod Is Out There. We're recording for you until the government shuts us down.
We're coming to you live from the Rockefeller building, right smack dab in the basement, hidden amongst the files.
We swear to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth in this podcast.
Okay, to start out this episode...
But who are you?
Oh, I am the Nose. I got ahead of myself.
I know. I'm Gamma.
I'm Slick.
All right, you were saying
Okay.
you were saying the Nose.
Yeah. On this week's edition of Weird News, we have a strange glitch sent tons of mysterious text messages to phones nationwide. It's a article from the Huffington Post. It was posted November 7th of this year. And it pretty much reads that a variety of people went to social media to talk about some messages that their phone, or that they had received from other phones from their friends and family, that apparently their friends had never sent. They're all very odd, very cryptic kind of messages. One reads, he did travel across the country. Oh no, that is a quote. That's not what I was trying to find. One such message read just simply Dakota, a name, from a lady's husband of 50 years who had died in June. Others are just very yeah, right? Others just very cryptic. Just, can you come open the door, from someone's mother who was nowhere near them. They live across the country. And trying to find out where these came from. It seems to be a problem that affected T-Mobile customers, and that T-Mobile was aware when Huffington Post reached out to them, and they called it a third-party vendor issue, where the third party was Cineverse, a third-party text message service provider, who said during an internal maintenance cycle last night, 168,149 previously undelivered text messages were inadvertently sent to multiple mobile operators.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. Like
That
that is a lot, especially for, with social media. Like, those people can get out there and
Yeah.
Ruin T-Mobile.
Especially if like it's like something like crazy damning, and like someone just like canceled the text message and then is like, "Oh hey, I know about the baby."
Yeah. And so Huffington Post reached out to some the individuals, and a lot of them also realized that looking through their inboxes, they found they'd also received other messages months prior, and also they all seemed to correlate to February 14th. And when they asked Cineverse, they said that they are not providing any additional details. So just a very strange glitch that no one really knows why exactly it happened.
That's really strange, especially like the one where it's the deceased husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would freak me
creepy.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honey?
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
Oh my
Oh man.
Yeah. So we guess we have third-party vendors leaking
So
messages.
is it like a third party that's like just using that they're the responsible for sending the messages, not like a group me app kind of a thing?
Yeah, it's just the third party that's responsible for the sending.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I never even thought about companies working.
I didn't
doing that.
either. I did that kind of surprised me. That I
Yeah.
thought that it would just be internal with the company, that like T-Mobile
Well, doesn't
categorizes
T-Mobile
their own messages.
do they have their own network though? Because I thought they used other networks.
Maybe that's why then.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wild.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. So, getting into today's topic, we're going to talk about a little bit about some conspiracies that that we just want to talk about. It's kind of going to be a little bit of a relaxed episode. Next episode is going to be a bit of a longer episode. We have a special guest coming to the broadcast booth for us, and that will be revealed next week, so keep your eye out for that. But to start off, we're going to talk a little bit about some conspiracies. So, Slick, do you want to talk about one of the conspiracies you like to talk about?
Sure, I would love to.
Oh, good.
Okay, so the first one is the what was the title?
Secret
The secret
groups.
that are like trying to run the world, basically.
Right.
So like the Illuminati and like
New World Order.
yeah.
Yeah.
So first, can I just have your thoughts about like who you think is part of the Illuminati, or like is there multiple like organizations other than the Illuminati that you think are trying to take over the world?
That's funny. I was just reading something before I came that it was talking about the New World Order, and that a lot of people believe that the Illuminati consists of course, the Illuminati itself, and then the Freemasons, the Knights of Columbus, if you've ever heard of that group, and just like there was a couple other ones as well. I hear that too.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
The government, they're here.
Government, they're coming for us.
Oh,
What
it
was that?
stopped.
It was just a microphone issue.
Huh.
Anyway.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Yeah, or was it a microphone issue, or was it the government trying to find us?
They're tracking us now.
It's true.
They're gonna swat us like
Oh,
kids
no.
do to Twitch
We
streamers.
better change venues real quick.
Yeah.
But we got to get this information out there.
Isn't that funny? We were talking about the Illuminati and
That,
then it decides to fuck up.
Oh, that's kind of crazy.
They listening, I swear.
I don't know if I necessarily believe, though, in like a straight up Illuminati bent on a new world order kind of a thing. I do believe that there are, I would call it like a conspiracy, like a group of people trying to stay in power secretly. But I don't know if, I don't believe that there are a group of highly individuals that, like do the outcome of the Super Bowl and, those kind of crazy kind of things.
right.
But I do believe that maybe out of self-preservation or trying to keep some like secret like crimes hidden, that there have developed some like corruption rings, I guess you would call them, in the government. Like I would definitely say, like with what's going on with like the Trump administration and some of the Republican Party, that there's definitely some organized knowledge going around, but it also is like, hey, if you tell the truth about this thing, I'll tell the truth I'll come out with about your thing that is kind of deviant,
Right, yeah.
Where it's like they all kind of get in trouble together, so no one talks.
Yeah. Or you just flood the news with different stories so that no one can really focus on one thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think my favorite like conspiracy behind the Illuminati, like a lot of people know this one, but like the Taylor Swift one
Yeah.
with Kanye, Beyonce, Jay-Z. So
I
like
don't know
people are
this one,
saying
actually.
like, do you remember when Kanye like took Taylor Swift's spot on stage
Oh,
a
yeah.
long
Yeah, I'm gonna let
time
you
ago?
finish. Yeah.
And anyways, people say that like some parts of like getting into the Illuminati are like public embarrassment. So Kanye was like setting Taylor up for public embarrassment so she could be initiated. And then red is like an often color people see like people that they think are in the Illuminati wearing.
Interesting.
So like after that embarrassment happened, Beyonce was on stage accepting an award or something. I can't remember and she was wearing red, and then she let Taylor Swift come out and like finish her speech, and Taylor was wearing a red dress. And I don't know, it's just so weird. Like, there's some sketchy stuff with,
Interesting.
Yeah.
with some people.
I do
that, you know?
I do think of when I think of red dresses, I definitely do think about the Matrix, but you know.
Yeah. No, I definitely. I think that there's like you said, like corruption rings and within the government as well, and I think there is some sort of form of Illuminati that tries to like push like certain topics and certain agendas within like society, you know, like with Taylor Swift or with celebrities that are supposed to be in the Illuminati. I think that they're in there to create, you know, music and media that everyone consumes and everyone sees, and it like becomes like the media of that time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. It's all about consumption and keeping people complacent and happy.
Yeah.
I can see, like, I definitely believe that, like,
That brings
you don't
me
want
to
to
my
rock the
next
boat.
thing.
Oh, what's your next thing?
Like media, you know, keeping people happy. Disney.
Disney is about
Disney's
to
the
own
happiest place on earth. But there's so much like stuff that like you don't see happening like
Yeah.
in the shadows, you know?
everything.
Oh, yeah.
Soon enough, Disney will just be the happiest Earth.
Oh,
Honestly, like
yeah,
the whole world will be Disney. Like
yeah. And, like, I don't know, like, I feel passionate about, like, antitrust laws and against big conglomerates of corporations, or at least having more than one big conglomerate so that there's at least some competition.
Yeah.
And, like, I definitely believe we're in this, like, kind of like late stage capitalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's just like 5 people own everything and everyone else is. Because that really, like, if capitalism's goal is to drive competition and whatnot, eventually someone's going to win. If it's a competition, someone's got to win.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, there's no way that anyone can compete with Disney at this point. There's no. I mean, there are different sorts of, you know, entertainment companies and stuff like that, but I mean, all of them are starting to get bought up by Disney.
Yeah.
Like the biggest ones are going down with,
Yeah.
or at least getting merged. And
I think the problem is that, like, Disney movies and Disney produced movies are good.
yeah,
They're really good, and it seems like other studios can't capture the magic or the right formula, and they're just trying to emulate Disney and try to be like, oh, look, I've got a superhero universe, I've got this other universe. It's like, instead of focusing on making good movies, they're trying to make money.
yeah,
Dude.
And in doing so, that they're losing sight of what makes people want to go to the movies. And so until other companies, like, they start realizing we got to make good movies again, not just make money, Disney's going to keep winning.
oh yeah,
This makes me think of like a conspiracy theory. I've never heard of this one. I just thought of it in my head.
Oh,
But like, what if Disney like actually is magical and they like bless their movies so everyone loves
Oh.
them, and
maybe.
that's why there's no competition.
Well,
Disney's magical.
what I was gonna say, kind of, because Gabe brought up that, you know, Disney movies are just a different kind of good. Like, it's just, we see it and we're like, that's a good movie.
Magic.
Or is that just the way, like, you know, is that the way we've been, you know, brainwashed or focused on, you know, like, is that just the way we're supposed to see good movies now? Like, we see, you know, if it's a Disney movie, you know, it's good, but is that just because that's the standard that they've created? Is that just the standard that's been pushed by?
Yes and no. I think Disney has been good at hiring the right people that are passionate about the subjects they have. And they've
Okay.
also bought, like, some of the biggest things, like Marvel and Star Wars, and, you know, those are some
Right,
of the
yeah.
biggest movies. People all love them, but they're also putting people who also love the IP to create more of that IP. So, like, thinking about, like, Disney Plus and The Mandalorian
Yeah.
show, like, I watched that last night, and, like, probably one of the best things I've ever watched Star Wars wise. Like, I loved it. I love Mandalorian lore and all that kind of stuff, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, that putting Jon Favreau in that spot to make that, it's a smart move because he loves the IP.
Right, yeah.
And that's where I think like Fox and Warner Brothers have had issues where they're hiring people who didn't grow up with the comic books, didn't grow up with like being a big old nerd. That's money driven.
Right. Well, exactly. 'Cause I mean, what, The Mandalorian, that's such like obviously, like, a lot of people that watch Star Wars are really into Star Wars know, like, the armor that Boba Fett has is Mandalorian armor, but, like, people that just watch the movies and, maybe that's all the media of, Star Wars media they consume, like, they don't know, they've probably never even heard that word before.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is a show that tons of people are excited for, a lot of people are raving about, and they might not even have any idea, like, what even goes, like, what even a Mandalorian is, like, why that's, like, something that's, I don't know.
Yeah.
They might just see the helmet like, oh, it's Boba Fett.
Yeah. I mean, that's what my wife thought.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she's like, oh, it's about Boba Fett. I'm like, no, it's about his people, his culture.
I don't think it was his people. I think because he's a clone, so.
But he's cloned from a Mandalorian.
Yeah,
so
that's
would that
true.
make him a Mandalorian?
Well, yes, but I also think that, getting really nerdy, at that time in Star Wars, in the Star Wars universe, that Mandalorians were pretty much extinct.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Anyway.
I like Star Wars.
Star Wars podcast.
We're
Ooh.
changing it to a Star Wars podcast.
Yeah, Star Wars Conspiracies. Let's
Yeah,
go. Is
let's
Jar
go.
Jar Binks? Is Jar Jar Binks the ultimate Sith Lord of the movies?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Have you ever heard that, Nick?
What, that conspiracy?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Oh, okay. It's just that everyone believes that Jar Jar Binks is actually like the puppet master behind like everything bad that goes on in the movies, because he's always in like the right place at the right time.
Right.
He does like some amazing things that like a normal like alien or person shouldn't be able to do, and he just never dies. Like he just somehow
Right,
like,
yeah.
and he just plays himself off as such like an annoying character.
Idiot.
But that just might be his cover.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Next trilogy of Star Wars, it's happening.
Absolutely. That's great.
Oh my God! What if in Rise of Skywalker, we keep hearing like the Emperor laugh, and like we think the Emperor's coming back. It's literally it's just Jar Jar sitting there.
That would be beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You haven't seen The Mandalorian, have you?
I have it though. I haven't, but I have
Disney Plus.
Yeah, no, I don't
Okay.
have. I have access to it, but I'm
Okay.
going to watch it when I get home.
Okay, because there's some crazy spoilers at the end of the first episode that I'd love to talk about on this episode if you want me to.
No, I want to watch it.
Okay.
I want to watch it.
Okay, I won't drop anything about.
Someone share their account with me. How much is Disney Plus a month?
Do you have Hulu?
7.
We're gonna have to cut this out.
Yeah,
We're
no,
not
that's
advertising for
fine.
Disney.
That's
Fuck
fine.
them.
We'll talk. We'll go back to conspiracies.
Okay.
Okay.
We're just chilling.
We're just
Not
chilling.
like the whole thing, but like the
Yeah,
price
no.
that I just asked. Cut that shit out. I want to advertise. Fuck Disney. Just
Yeah.
kidding. I like them, but like I have a love-hate.
Yeah.
Taking everything over.
Anyway.
Yeah,
So
I'm
okay.
dead.
So I have someone I wanted to talk about. This is less of a conspiracy, more of a conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
I just want to talk about Alex Jones
Yeah.
and the impact he's had on just conspiracy in general,
Mm.
and the just the impact he's had on America, which has been pretty significant. One of the bigger things that he kind of spurred. Do you guys remember the Sandy Hook massacre?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one that started to say that that didn't actually happen, that all the parents were quote unquote crisis actors, and that they were just faking it on their acting for democratic gun control. They want because they want to take our guns,
Right. Yeah.
and it's really interesting that his fans believed it.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
His fans
and-
believe a lot of the stuff he says.
And the people sent death threats to the parents of the kids that lost their lives.
Really.
And so
Jesus.
much so that the parents had to move several times because no matter where they would go, people would follow him and give him death threats and stalk them. And I know that there's at least 1 or 2 defamation cases against Alex Jones because of that. And I think one of them he's settled, but I'm not. I think there's more than one. But so there's that the Sandy Hook thing, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But have you ever heard of Jade Helm?
No.
So back in, I think, 2015, back when Obama was president, there was a yearly like joint military exercise that usually is conducted on American soil.
Yo, I gotta get a drink. I'm dying. Like my throat is like drying up.
It's the government.
Sorry, this is why I hate winter time.
It's okay. Slick is dying.
My throat's
Man
like
down.
drying and I'm
Man
starting
down.
to cry.
We need a new. If you would like to,
Okay,
if you'd like to
just,
come
like,
up on
get
the
up
hottest
real
out
quick
there.
and
Okay.
fix
We're gonna-
myself. I'm so sorry, guys.
But
Okay, we're back, and Slick is back. He's not dying. The government is trying to kill him, but they haven't succeeded yet.
if they do, though, please send in your resumes to our undisclosed location so that we may find a replacement for him.
Absolutely. So, going back to this thing, Jade Helm. Jade Helm was is a joint military exercise that it's always been done on American soil. 1 second.
They've got you too now.
They got me too.
Gamma, no.
Oh,
I thought you were like gonna sneeze right on me, and I was like, "Oh God, here we come, more sickness."
okay. So
God, we
this
all are
was
dying.
being conducted in New Mexico, Texas, like the Southwest, where there's a lot more Republican and conservative and gun ownership.
Right, yeah.
And so the purpose of this exercise was to kind of practice infiltrating a company or like a country and being undetected.
Okay.
And so Alex Jones reported on this, but he basically made it seem that it was Obama taking your guns and that this is the invasion against the the Second Civil War and all that kind of fun shit.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where like people were like freaking out, like the day of it was supposed to happen. People were like bunkered up, and there was like this whole thing where that like there's like supposedly tunnels between Walmarts in the area for the soldiers to move back and forth from.
Why Walmart?
I have so heard about this.
Yeah.
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 Why Walmart?
Because Walmart is evil. What
Well,
y'all saying?
Well, that's true, but the theory came from like some like random post from the early like 2000s online, and then like it was referenced by someone because they saw like 3 Walmarts close at the same time, just something stupid like that, and it's like people seeing patterns where patterns don't really exist. And it's all because Alex Jones is putting people on alert, making people paranoid about the government taking their guns. And like, yeah, like you shouldn't trust the government, but you shouldn't be paranoid of the government.
Right. But then we also have the Trump administration doing the exact same thing, making people paranoid about things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it goes both ways. And I was going to say, though, like, Alex Jones has a weird following. Like, I don't know what brings people to him and, like, why they just wholeheartedly believe him.
I think, well, one, he's entertaining.
Yeah.
The whole, they're making the frogs gay kind of.
Yeah.
He's entertaining, and I think he speaks to a lot of people's undisclosed ideas and undisclosed thoughts. So, like, how, like, Trump, when he was running, it was like, oh, he's telling it like it is, when really he's saying just racist and sexist crap. And
right, which I think people are kind of, like, with a more approach towards progressive progressive society, people are like, well, I still want to say that stuff. Like, I still believe those things. Like, as soon as someone starts saying them without repercussion, like, oh, cool, I like this guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it becomes an echo chamber for people who are paranoid and scared.
Yeah.
And whether that fear is based on something real or something, made up, like racism, like that's I don't know if it'd say phobia, but it's like a real reaction people have.
Right. Yeah.
And that affects them, and people like Alex Jones and Trump are feeding off that.
Yeah. Something else I've been thinking about. Does it seem like our generation has been much more in tune and very much more interested in conspiracy theories than like any other generation? Because it used to kind of be like if you believed in conspiracy theories or if you talked about them, you were crazy, like you were a wacko. But like now, like everyone has their own conspiracy theory. Everyone kind of says, like things they believe in that, or have their doubts about the government or really about the world itself in general. Like,
and that's almost a byproduct of Alex Jones and his predecessor, Bill Cooper, who was another radio host. He crazy guy. He was the granddaddy of conspiracy theories. Like he was the one. He started writing the books. His book, Behold a Pale Horse, is like conspiracy Bible, and he had a radio show. I think it was called like The Hour of the Time was his show that he broadcast out of his basement. But like those kind of people who start talking about these ideas openly make it easier for other people to talk about ideas openly.
Yeah, I don't think I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
I'm not too familiar, so I'm just trying to
that's
observe and listen. So.
And another thing from Alex Jones I want to talk about. Do you guys remember Pizzagate?
I don't think
kind
so.
of. I think I know what you're talking about, but you'll have to refresh me.
So Pizzagate was another thing that was kind of started by Alex Jones, where supposedly there was some emails that were in the Hillary Clinton email leak that happened that some people thought that indicated a child sex ring from like upper Democrat officials that was operated through like this like the basement of this pizza shop in DC.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So like it's obviously not real.
Right, yeah. Unless you believe it's real.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Power of belief.
Yeah.
But it was Alex Jones had to he talked about it on his show, and he talked about it a lot, and it got to the point where he was sued by the pizza company.
My God.
It was Comet Pizza and Ping Pong was the name of the place.
What the?
And they sued him and won for defamation.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang, that sucks.
Did they win because the government allowed them to win because the government's covering it? That's the problem with conspiracy theories. That I mean, there's a lot that I definitely believe in, and that I think have weight to them. But that's also, I mean, it's really like anything. It's like you don't have the proof to say it isn't going on, or that the government's not controlling it. So
true, and like I think conspiracy is a slippery slope.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. And for me, when I think about like before I get into like these hard theories, like I always try to think of Occam's razor. And for those of you who don't know what Occam's razor is, it is the idea that the simplest answer yet generally is the correct answer, especially when it comes to humans.
Right, yeah.
You know,
the simplest answer is that that's probably just a pizza place that people love to go to.
Right.
And not a child sex trafficking ring.
Right. But like it's simple to think that there are some people trying to cover their tracks in the government.
Right. Yeah.
And using their power badly. Like that is a simple idea.
Yeah.
But people take things way out of context.
That makes me think of the Chuckie Cheese conspiracy theory that they reused pizza. Do you guys remember that?
I
No,
do kind
I
of,
don't
yeah.
actually.
Shane Dawson did like this whole like deep dive like what is that word I'm looking for? Like
Video?
Expose, video.
he did a
Documentary?
video, yeah, but he like literally like went undercover and like went to all these Chuck E. Cheeses. It was so funny.
I think
But-
that'd be an expose.
Yeah, there you go.
It's possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like when you get like a Chuck E. Cheese pizza, like it doesn't match like how they cut it. Like the pieces aren't like they don't match together like they should. Like
Weird.
when you cut a pizza, and like he was recording like one of the workers at the Chuck E. Cheese's he was at was like looking at the pizzas that people would leave at the table, and like he would like point at a table and like walk away. So it was like weird. Like
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is really weird.
But that does
and I could
seem-
totally see
I could
like
totally
some
see something
yeah,
happen like
I mean,
that.
that's good business.
Maybe it's not every Chuck E. Cheese, and maybe it's just
Right,
a few.
yeah.
But like, I can honestly, I'm surprised Chuck E. Cheese is still in business.
honestly.
Well, I
though.
love Chuck E. Cheese.
I feel like there's a lot of evil hiding in that rat.
I used to love Chuck E. Cheese. It's kind of lame now.
Yeah,
Have you been? Well,
I haven't been lately. No.
I have young nieces and nephews and cousins, and it just all like the cool games are gone, and now it's just like it's literally all ticket based, and like and games are like designed to take your money so that you can get like the least amount of tickets. But
Yeah.
at the one night we used to go to, there used to be the coolest Star Wars arcade machine where you start out flying the X-wing through the trench run, and then you do
Oh, is that the one where it's like a full like?
yeah, and you have a little
encapsulated,
and
you're like in a cockpit.
yeah, there's one point where you
That's
fight
so
Boba
cool.
Fett and Darth Vader. That thing was awesome. That's all I would
Dude,
go and play when I was
lit.
there.
Yeah.
But now they got rid of it.
You know, there's places that are like that, like those like arcade style
Dude.
places, but they're more like a Dave and Buster's. And,
Yeah.
and they're more geared towards like an older audience, and it's really cool because I've got like really cool arcade games. Like I've played a like 20-foot tall game of Galaga.
Oh.
Dude, Disney used to have like I think it was like a 3-story arcade in downtown Disney. It was called Disney Quest, but they literally got rid of it like I think 3 or 4 years ago maybe, and they're like. Last time I was there, they were still building this like basketball theme thing, but like
Lame.
I used to go to that, and you could play like so many arcade games, and they were like older ones too, like
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
the classics.
I
Like,
love that.
and then they ruined it and got rid of it. So upset,
Yeah.
Gross. Stupid
Fucking
Disney.
Disney.
Yeah.
honestly.
They think they know what we want. We don't know what we want, but they're gonna give it to us anyways.
Exactly. Oh man. You know, like I do think there's a lot of things out there like the Chuck E. Cheese thing that just people trying to save their own skin or
Yeah.
trying to make a quick buck and disregard labor laws or like food safety laws, and like I don't know if I'd call it a conspiracy.
Right, I was
like,
just thinking about that. Like, at what point do you call it conspiracy, and what point do you just call it someone
Isn't a
lying?
conspiracy a belief about something that you
Well-
don't know is not true?
I think a conspiracy, is technically the term you would use, like we are conspiring together to do a thing, and generally that has a negative, more crime connotation.
Right.
So I guess you could say like if like the servers and the managers at Chuck E. Cheese were working together, like, hey, we're going to save some money, and there's something in it for you, extra tips or whatever, that I could say that would be they're conspiring together to do something.
Right.
But if it's just someone, I think there has to be more than one person to make it a conspiracy.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably more than 2. I feel like it has to
Yeah.
at least be like a small gathering, like
Yeah.
a fellowship.
Yeah. And that's why, like, I have a hard time believing in a lot of, like, big conspiracies. It's like, how do you get so many people to lie and be on board with it?
Right.
Like, that's a lot of people. And when you get a lot of people, there's bound to be at least one person who's not really all the way with it and will leak information.
But then they get killed before they can leak it.
Right.
You ever seen American Horror Story Cult?
No.
They kill people.
Yeah. Sounds like Scientology.
As soon as they, I mean, honestly, it really was.
Yeah.
It was a very, like, that was a good season.
What season is that?
Cult.
Oh, it's just called Cult?
I don't know what number, but yeah, it was just called
I quit
Cult.
after the first season because it went to crap, in my opinion.
The other seasons or the first season went to crap?
No, the second season I tried starting it after the first.
I don't like the second season that
not
much.
my favorite.
Yeah.
And I just try to start other seasons, and every time I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know about this.
I get that.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any other ones? Because I have one more that we can talk about.
I've got a couple. That if you want, you talk about your other one.
Okay, so my other one is Deja Vu. So can I just get your thoughts?
Let's get on.
Like, what do you think causes it? / like what causes it? I guess
I don't
is the only
know.
question I have.
I don't know if I have like a specific like conspiracy of like what caused it, but I just know that I get it really bad all
You
the
do?
time. Yeah, like the other day at work, I was sitting there and I had to stop for a second because like everyone was just saying exactly what I remember like from some like it just felt like I was just reliving like a moment in time and it was so like I had to like be like stop, everyone like don't do anything right now, like this is really weird. And I get that a lot actually, and
That's interesting.
I don't know, like I don't know what I want to believe as to, like what that could be.
For me, I've studied some psychology, and my wife's a psychologist, and we've talked about stuff, and I personally think that deja vu is a moment of what's called depersonalization or derealization, where like in those instances, like big cases of depersonalization, derealization are people where like they feel like they're having an out of body experience all the time. Like they're not actually controlling their body. They're not like everything around them isn't real.
And that's like a lot of where like psychopaths and like sociopaths come from, or like
not quite. Actually, it's a lot of times it's caused from people having panic attacks, especially when they've been smoking weed. Or doing other hallucinogenic things, like it tricks the brain into thinking everything isn't real. And I think, and it's actually, though having small episodes of depersonalization and derealization is actually extremely common. I think it's like 4 out of 5 people experience it at least once in their life. And I think deja vu could be maybe just a little blip of a derealization event.
Yeah. Honestly, that seems like the most logical thing to me.
Yeah.
But I want to hear conspiracies about it first.
So some people think it's like a parallel universe thing. So like you have like multiple versions of yourself in different like universes that are doing the same thing that you're doing. So like you kind of mirroring them, and like you've seen it, but you don't know where. Mm-hmm. And then another one was just dreams. So you just have dreamt of something. I don't know if that's the right word.
I think
but anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, like, I've heard that, but I don't know, like, that doesn't seem right in my case, because this, like...
The dream one, or?
The dream one, yeah, because the times I've had it, it's just been so specific, and even, you know, the way people react to, like, after I say something, like it just always is like so specific. I'm like, I can't have dreamed that. Mm-hmm. At least I don't think I could.
Maybe you don't remember.
I definitely have had like instances where like I know I've dreamt this before, or like I have that feeling of I've dreamt this.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
For me, it doesn't seem like that to me. I mean, I could be completely wrong, and maybe somehow I did like dream, but like it gets so like to like the details of what's going on or what people are saying or they're doing with like their hands or whatever. Like it just is weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna like slick go on.
Just cut it. It's fine.
I was gonna beep.
I guess the last one that people think it is like reincarnation. So like people think you are like reincarnated as yourself, but you look different, like have a different name, but like you live like the same life every time, but some like certain things can change. So like maybe you're reincarnated and like experience something from a different life that stayed
That's
the same
interesting.
Like you're living as you, but in a different.
in a different like
That's-
body, I guess,
like-
person, but for some reason you would remember,
Yeah.
or that's what deja vu is. You're like, I feel like I've seen this before, but it was maybe something that
past
stayed
life.
the same from your past life.
So is that saying that some past lives, like you can be reincarnated, like reincarnated at the same physical time period, but in an alternate universe?
I mean, I guess. I don't know if that would be reincarnation, though.
Yeah.
Because, like, if it's the same person, wouldn't it just be, like, I don't know, duplicate
no,
people? I don't know.
I think it would, because you're coming back as like you must
Would
have
we
died
still-
and come back as yourself again.
So, like,
But
somebody...
it's a different version of you.
Oh,
Oh, wait, I think I get what you're saying. You're saying, like, so if, like, I were to die and I was reincarnated in a different universe and I
Yeah.
lived the same... Not the same life, because things change.
A similar life.
But, like, some things will stay the same. So you're saying, like, it's like that I can remember it from my old life somehow. Or, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I could see that, but it's
yeah.
crazy to think about, like,
Right,
the
yeah.
things you might not know, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Some crazy shit out there.
It really is. There's so much to talk about as far as conspiracies go. And I like to laugh at goofier ones.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I used to look at just stupid conspiracy theories, and my favorite one is the black helicopter theory, which basically states that the government has little black helicopters that injected into our bloodstream that they use for mind and body control.
Oh my god.
You mean you guys don't have those?
Have you ever heard of the chip theory? Like, not the chip, like the chip you eat, but
No, yeah.
the celebrity chip theory, that like all celebrities have like a chip in them, which causes them to act a certain way, and like the government can control what they do and like basically control us because we follow them so much, you know? And like, so for example, like Britney Spears, and when she like had her whole meltdown in like what 2006 or something, 9, and like so her chip was going bad and like it needed changed, but she was not getting it changed.
Interesting. You know, there was a company in I think Wisconsin or Minnesota that implanted chips in all their employees' like hands so that they could quote open doors and get cafeteria food faster.
What?
That's
Yeah, it was like
so
an ID.
weird.
It was an ID
really weird.
chip that they implanted in their
Don't
hands.
they want to like start doing that to like just us citizens? Like,
I'm
as
sure
we're
there's
getting
some
born,
people
I
that
feel
would like to do
we're
that.
like working towards that. Like,
I mean, I'm sure that's probably just gonna be something that we will want in the future, where it's like all doors will just like have like, or anything, you know, any device we
like-
interact with will have like something that if you hit it with your chip, like it is personalized to you. Like I feel like that's just
it's
kind of where the
basically
world's
like
going.
the iPhone
Yeah.
having the face recognition to
has,
unlock
has
it.
your optical data.
We
it
don't
has your
think
fingerprint
we
data,
don't think anything about it. Like, oh, I can unlock my phone this easily, but where is that data going?
Mhm.
You know,
and you've got places like Facebook and Google storing your data, and like
right?
that's like a very real possibility of like personalized ads while you're on the subway.
Right? Yeah.
You know,
That's or like or something. You know, like every time you walk up to like this billboard, it changes to see like
Yeah.
if it sees your chip or like
Oh my
implants in your
God.
head where like it's just like as you're looking at it, you're looking at something completely different than someone else.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Or-
I definitely think that's possible in the future, and I personally do believe that unless we kind of right the ship, we're heading towards a very cyberpunk future where it's heavy corporations own everything. The government doesn't really have much control, and it's everything is excess and dirty and
It's about to be a war zone out there.
yeah, something like that.
I want to have USB drive or like USB connectors in my head implanted.
Yeah, it's like Neuromancer.
We're gonna start
William Gibson and stuff.
start playing some Shadowrun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could literally list off conspiracies all day. So much fun.
Yeah. But unfortunately, we don't have all day. We do have to get out of the Rockefeller building at some point. So
You're right.
True.
I think this might be a good spot. So this is Gamma signing out.
This is the Nose signing out.
This is Slick signing out.